I was just trying to like, I didn't want it to be like a weird ass colors or something. Okay, I think it's better.
You're wearing brown and a brown background with green leaves. You're literally blend in.
Yeah, I guess
you're
right.
a praying mantis.
With camo on. Introduce myself. Well, shit, man. I go by Rodger. I guess that's my name. I represent a brand called Friends. 2018, it was amongst friends. And you know, I just try to bring people together off genuine friendship. You know, not to define the word with the word, but just, you know, unique opportunities to interact with others and build something that maybe you wouldn't have before. It's started with some dinner parties and just kind of actually started with a FAMU after party.
Let's take a deep dive on that, because the first time I met you was when we did the event at your boy's crib. It was supposed to be at his crib. But we ended up taking it over to Sandlot. The older location. So let's start with FAMU.
Well, I mean, FAMU, was just party town. So, that...
They don't know FAMU. They've heard of FAMU. You're the experience.
Damn, now I got to be the representative, the highest of 7 Hills.
It's kind of funny because we touched on that too, like being a representative for everything you've done. Yeah.
This is true. I mean, your track record, you know, if I guess if you're lucky, your legend precedes you, but you do have to, you know, show up as that. So.
And if the environment permits it.
Yeah, you know, also, you know, read the room.
Popping every year, is it?
What do you mean?
Like, have they ever had an off year when they just weren't the most popping?
Oh, what year?
Off.
I'm sorry, we don't.
Off year.
We always have the year, but
so you're
off year?
Someone gotta ask.
I mean, if I'm gonna represent a fan, if I'm gonna represent a fan, but then it's not ice.
So it's water.
But it's not ice.
It had its moment.
But we talking about ice. And ice always cold.
Okay, all right. I'm not even gonna touch that. That's you guys. I'm not even gonna touch that. That's a completely separate topic right there.
Well, that. Hold on, no, I'm not even a representative.
No, I know, but it's funny because no. But go ahead.
So anywho, you know, the highest 7 Hills. I mean, it doesn't. I think it is the epitome of a lot of things. But you know, it's not a competition. I don't want to, you know, try to one up any other HBCU. I mean, it wouldn't be hard. But I'm with you. But yeah, I mean, that's where the partying started. I mean, from or I wouldn't say party, but bringing people together. And I mean, usually it does happen at a party.
Since
I guess.
I've met you, you've been more about the people and not the party.
Yeah, and that's
like it's just a blessing when it becomes popular.
Yeah, and that's definitely. I mean, I think currently I understand it that way, where it is about the people rather than the party. But you know, there does have to be a reason for people coming together, and it could be something very finite and, you know, very simple, or it could be, you know, purposeful and intentional.
Like one of DC's first black-owned cookouts.
Right.
Yeah, with only black chefs.
Yeah, I mean, well, I do gotta give it to Safeway. I will throw it out there. Safeway for years. I'm not sure if they still do it currently, but Safeway for years had the barbecue cook-off, and that was forever a thing. My grandmother used to work at Safeway. I got to rep for her.
This new generation,
I got to rep for her. But no, that's fair. But if we were just saying first DC black chefs and
when I brought it up, I asked. I was like, hey, does any other company within DC do a black-owned black barbecue in terms of the chefs are black and it's black owned? Is Safeway black owned?
I mean, okay, you got me there. Okay, I have no clue. I have no clue at all.
Because like DC does a lot of things. Like they do go-go.
Yeah. And DC also isn't the chocolate city that it used to be. So there's not a lot of things.
But the chocolate is still around.
Of course.
Even though
there's always
with displacement and people like moving out into different neighborhoods, they still come back and the culture is still here for them.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely a whole deeper thing. And I mean, the culture is still here, and I do appreciate the people that are like really putting on right now. My boy Drew Keys definitely holding it down with the go-go and like, you know, hit songs mixes. I fuck with like what DJ Damo's doing and how, like, you know, she's putting on for the city. Even the rappers, I think, you know, as DC rappers is kind of coming up and doing just shit that I don't want to say DC hasn't done before, but like just at least like repping DC while they're doing it.
A different kind of relevance.
Yeah. And I mean, and you know, it's spreading even, and then even look at what DC is attracting. I mean, you know, all the different I guess, figures that are coming to teach at Howard and, you know, turning down offers. I can't remember what, you know, who the woman is, but just the other day I read an article about turning down a tenure at UNC and deciding to take a tenure at Howard instead.
Or being Nick Cannon, who don't miss when he shoot.
I mean, because he did go to Howard. Yeah, he did go to Howard. Yeah, I think he had like 6 this month.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
For the month of June.
That's crazy.
It's a firework. So it's a display.
Yeah, but you know he got the bag, so he can
bags.
Several. He'll take care of what he need to take care of. I would assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no. I mean, coming from you know that kind of background. I mean, I feel like there was always something going on. Always, I mean, an event, a party, whatever it might be. So you know, you just learn how to mix with people different. And in all honesty, being from DC, that wasn't like the norm. You got your clique, your neighborhood, your areas. So I was born in Northeast, lived in Northwest. Grew up in Silver Spring. Okay. And I mean that differentiation isn't always necessary, but you know, just to be particular, I mean, you know, definitely got roots and an upbringing in 2 different places. But all DMV. But yeah, being from here, that's not the norm where you're just talking to everybody on the street or you're just, you know, super friendly. It's, you know, if I don't know you, I'm keeping it moving. Like, what are we discussing? And, you know, there was a lot of territorial, you know, butting heads on whether it's MoCo PG or PGDC or, you know, the different neighborhoods and areas inside of those. Yeah. So going to FAM, it took me a minute to catch on to the hospitality and, you know, be so, I guess, open and just willing to talk to anybody and be genuine about it. So, you know, kind of getting that foundation there and then coming to DC, I mean, even the bros too. I mean, friendship is essential to the soul. Like that, you know, definitely I borrow several, you know, just tactics or principles or whatever from kind of what was ingrained in me, just having to be responsible for other people and having to like actually be considerate and like, nah, this is like somebody that I vouch for and will put my, you know, little ass on the line for to, you know, just I guess continue or like solidify our bond. Not even for the bond, but because like we're both here. Like, you know, these spaces matter. What we're doing here matters.
That
and
I think reference was real.
Yeah, no. I mean, did you want to? I mean,
no. Okay. It's just that when you said literal ass, I was like,
oh yeah.
Nah, yeah, that's real for you guys.
And I mean, even like but even, you know, in situations like today, just real time and energy to like actually, no, I'm not gonna like just send a text or I'm not gonna like, you know, be a friend from a distance. Like, no, let's in the places that it matters. Hey, I'm showing up and giving or you know, offering very real things, whether it's, you know, things of monetary value or time and energy or, you know, mental your own mental health. I think all of those things, you know, count as showing up and being aware of and accountable for or being willing to contribute to other people in real ways. And I think, you know, bring that to I guess kind of more like of a current space. You know, I think that's what at least I try to you know, offer or at least like in those moments. I mean, you can't dive deep with every single person, but I think with there's always moments, there's intersections, I guess, like I like to call them, where like, hey, we're in this place and there's this opportunity. I mean, even just this conversation, I'm like, oh, okay, we could have done this any other. I could have pulled up tomorrow, like at any point, whatever the case.
Any time, but
it was like,
it was funny because when you called me, this was like a week later.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of me being like,
for a minute.
Instead of me being like, oh man, that was last week. I was like, oh no, hey, what's up, bud? What's good? Like, you heard the energy. I was like, yeah, what's good?
Yeah. and that's why when I was thinking, and like, there have been several days I was like, oh, okay, call Juice. And then, you know, I mean, the day just happens, like, oh shit, I was supposed to call, oh, now it's too late, whatever the case. And so just then I had a moment, I was just, coming from something with the family and was out on the mall, literally just laying in the grass, listening to music. And then I'm like, okay, what am I like, what do I need to catch up on? Like, what am I missing? I'm like, I call Juice. And then, boom. So, you know, it's like, when that intersection comes, do you like honor it and give that time and energy to like, hey, this thing that, you know, there's a need or opportunity and I have the energy or resource, whatever, to provide. Do I turn away from that or just like lean in and see what happens? And when it is with somebody that you like know and have a relationship with, then you can do that, execute that same thing with a random person on the street. But when there's that foundation and you actually care, you know, that's that, I guess, sweat equity, if you will. That's that time and energy that you're putting in, or that ask that you're putting on the line, you know, in different forms or whatever. So
for me, I was just excited because, like, I ain't hear from you in a minute. Last time we had that talk, that was a great talk last time. I think remember that talk.
I think I was sitting at the same exact table. Yeah,
you were in the zone. And it went from like it was supposed to be a 5-minute call to like an hour and a half. And for me, I get careful with my friends who it's supposed to be a 5-minute call to an hour and a half because it's like that hour that they gave me that we weren't scheduled for, was that supposed to be for something else? And I think about that, like in terms of like, I wouldn't say boundaries, but respecting what folks have going on in general.
Sure.
So like before I pulled up, we ended at you have strategies for your friendships. Expound on that and how important that is.
I mean, I think so. We could even start with like the I don't know, thought process that I had in that moment. Like even once we hung up the phone and decided, hey, let's take this to, you know, having this conversation in person and, you know, doing it in this fashion, right? So in order for me to be here fully, I had to take inventory. I had to say, okay, like what was happening before this call? What am I possibly like not tapped into while we've been on the call? Because we were even on the phone for like an hour 15 or something. So it was already, you know, an extended exchange, which was perfectly like fulfilling. But, you know, it had already just taken up some space, just as a fact, right? And so, okay, what am I maybe missing out on? What am I not thinking about that I was supposed to do tonight? What do I do tomorrow? Yada, yada. And so that taking inventory and kind of checking in with myself to like, okay, are you even in a space to have this conversation or give, you know, whatever it is that I need to give, to make this a like to honor, you know, both of us and not disrespect whatever it was I was doing, but also fully respect like what you were bringing to the table or, you know, what we were trying to build. And I think even that in itself is a strategy. Like, okay, to be here, you know, a lot of times, let's just like throw ourselves into whatever situation or pick up the phone every time somebody calls in. And you want to be, you know, reliable or whatever, but okay, well, what's my energy like? And how, you know, what is this person going to, I don't want to say want, because that sounds draining, but what is going to be required of me by picking up the phone? Is it just a like, oh, like, what's good, bro? Oh, you cop them shoes? Oh, we both together. All right, holler at you later. Or is it, so let me tell you, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, those are two different, like.
That's a real space, though.
Yeah.
That's a real space. And like for me, one of the things I said before getting off the phone was, hey, are you sure I can pull up? Because I was like, you may have a lot going on. I know you had a phone call. You may have been working on something. Are you sure this was the perfect time to pull up for you? Because I don't want to get in the way of your work now that I've already had an hour out of your life.
Yeah.
Because like you don't get that back. You can have like a big ass business proposal that you're working on. And it's like me forcing myself into your time frame. It's like, nah, you already got that hour for free. That I didn't even know I was gonna get today. Because like I'm packed to go out of town. Like tomorrow I gotta go out of town, Virginia Beach for like a week and a half.
And see, I didn't even notice. If had I called, like, oh, let's have a combo tomorrow. You're like, oh my god, I'm out. Sorry.
Go. So like I literally like unpacked the cameras and I was like, all right, let me put it in my bag. All right, what's the batteries at? I charged it. All right, cool. When I get home, I know I gotta recharge these batteries, everything else. So yeah.
And I mean, I think even you asking the question, hey, are you sure it's cool? And even honoring, like understanding, oh, okay, an hour has been, you know, already gone by. Even your own things of having to go out of town or whatever, like you're checking in with your mom, like you said you did, like, you know, those things, you know, it's just the mindfulness, the awareness of like, okay, what do I actually have going on and what does this person have going on? And when we bring both of those situations to the table, what, you know, and also applying the context of like, oh, I know this person and this is how they, you know, have shown up in the past or whatever. Okay, is, you know, how do we do this properly so that, you know, it is fulfilling, both people get something out of it, you know.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, make it make sense. And I think like all of those things, even just asking the questions or being aware that even conversations are draining, or like listening on the phone, no matter how much you're putting out or whatever the case, even just listening to somebody for an hour can be draining. So like all of that requires, and I think that's like base level strategy. That's not even like, oh, okay, like let me think ahead or, you know, counteract my weaknesses with what I know this friend really wants so that I can show up in this way that maybe I don't really want to, but I know it matters to them or whatever. So like, I think there's a million ways. And honestly, when I first realized I was maybe applying strategy in French, I even had to ask myself, like, is this okay? Like,
well, you tell me what your thought process was, and then I'll tell you how I got to my answer. Is it okay to use strategies on your friendships?
Yeah, and the initial thought, I mean, one, I realized I was doing it. I was like, oh, okay, like that's smart. Mm-hmm. But then knowing that I got strategy can be manipulative, or it can be, divisive, or or even deceiving if it's spun that way. Mm-hmm. It could be, a bad thing. It could be, you're pitting two friends against each other, or you're like, oh, I'm gonna like say this just to see if somebody gets a reaction, and then boom. Yeah, no, 100% depends on the person.
Because 100%. Like strategy it's a tool.
Yeah.
So tools are bad in the wrong hands, and tools are good in the right hands. Yeah. It's how are the tools being used. So like, for example, I have a couple of friends that I do business with, and one friend in particular is telling me, hey, how do we balance our friendship with business? Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, you're my friend first.
Sure.
They're like, well, what does that mean? I was like, if you have a problem or an issue that you'd like advice on, I'd rather you hit me up about that, and then we talk about business, because as long as you're good, anything we do after that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Because I was like, business is the representation of two relationships working together. Okay. It's not just money on the table.
Okay.
So any business that happens, it's the conversations you were supposed to have, the follow-ups you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Did you take care of what you told me you took care of? Are there less distractions because everything's okay at home? Mm-hmm. And if that's not the deal, you got to take care of the person first. For me, you have to take care of the person first before the business. Because like, I haven't built my business on what can we crank out quickly. I build my business on these real relationships that I get a chance to care about. How can we work together and bring some fun shit to life?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think it's tough sometimes. It's tough sometimes, man. I think
and it's not easy for everyone.
Yeah, I 100%. I think work culture in general can be nasty or divisive or just stressful. I mean, even it doesn't have to get to a point where there's malicious intent or something, or like it's super negative, but it can be stressful. And so like obviously that's going to bring out just uncomfortable situations, which would be enough for one person to deal with. But I actually know you, and I'm supposed to like care about you, and like we gotta solve this, instead of like just being like work enemies or whatever.
And then make money together, like real money.
Right. Or and be like honest about that, and all levels. And of course there's integrity and stuff, but like when there's the friendship aspect, as well. And if we're honoring that properly, there's gonna be certain things where like, damn, like this vendor is telling me, we could pay him $300 less, but the partner don't know that I could just pocket this $300, blah blah blah, and then and that's
especially
not
in writing.
Right? It's not in writing. You're telling me this. You're handing me the money, blah, like. Yeah. Damn, but okay, and not even saying that's what anyone would do.
Though. That's a reality for a lot of folks.
Yeah, and money's a thing that like I mean, the root of all evil, if you will. But like it, it could be that easy of I already got this money like right here. And I did like pay for gas, and I spent bread on extra materials and yada yada.
When you start accounting for things without the conversation.
Right, and then but also part of that friendship requires like to put certain things on the table, knowing that there could be an opportunity where there's some, a loophole like that, and let me just because I bang with this person, let me go ahead and cover that in writing or talk about that ahead of time, so that if there is a thing like that, at least we know how each of us looks at it, and it's not a like, damn, we didn't even talk about it. I thought we was friends. You need.
So now you're touching on motive operations. What we did earlier.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Because like now you're in terms of is it still amongst friends, or like how are you guys calling it? Are you speaking on that out loud?
Yeah, no, for sure. No, it's definitely official. The name has been shorted to Friends. Just as
without the TV show.
Yes, it's spelled different. It's FRNDS.
Okay.
And it was a strategic move.
And that's your brand.
Yes, the brand is Friends. So
because they don't know that, so we gotta like let them know.
Yeah, I feel like so. I feel like I need to do like another intro. I feel like later there was a point we were talking. I was like, "Yo, you messed that intro up. Like, you gotta do it over." Somehow.
No. It's good. It's just the combo. Like the links will be like down below. Like, this is the website. This is where you guys can find him. This is the brand Friends.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, that's there's gonna be clicks and links and all the things. That's the internet. But nah, so the brand Friends, I mean, from 2018, it was originally amongst Friends. You know,
great cups.
Yeah. We should have been having smoothies out of them.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, you don't gotta overdo it, and there's new ones coming because we rebrand, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
But geez, lost my train of thought.
Amongst Friends.
Yeah.
Now been shortened to Friends.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And
so
you now have a new group of people that you're working with. So let's talk about the start of Friends and what Friends is looking to become.
So
or maintain.
Yeah, no, 100%. So the pivot in the name just came from like just trying to have a little more vision about the brand and what can and will happen. Period. No, so don't even need to put a time on it.
Yeah, the vision.
Yeah, exactly. I do think it's more than just doing parties. And like you said earlier, like we both said, it's about the people and not the parties. So, thinking about, of course, the pandemic brought on, a hard stop to all things, fun and gathering or fellowship or whatever. But, in order to, it's still important to push out messages of, or to evoke, feelings of friendship and genuine bonding and camaraderie and, fill those spaces that, the people across from us, need to fill. And I think even, creating a space where people can see themselves in others. And I think that doesn't always have to happen face to face. And so, the idea, I mean, in a number of, honestly, man, at a point I was working at Trader Joe's as a graphic designer. So all of the
graphic designer.
Yeah.
What was that like? Actually, we'll talk on that later.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a dope experience. Hopefully.
No, it was fine. No, I love TJ's. I love TJ's.
Was there coffee?
Nah, they weren't big coffee drinkers. There was always a hot cup somewhere, but I usually got it from across the street. If I'm being honest.
Okay.
But no, TJ's was dope. But all the signs and whatnot in the stores are all like made by hand. So we're in there doing straight geez.
You gotta explain this process to me, because that sounds fascinating.
So like everything
you
from
would
the
design what it's supposed to look like, and you would have to make it by hand, or you had a team of people.
No, there was a team. There were a few of us. So there's like a TJ's like standard font. Like so you gotta like even learn like you gotta do your K's like this and do your like so
did
all
they
of the
purchase this font.
I think somebody just did it at some point. Like somebody just like the corporate, I guess, lead store designer or whatever was like, boom, here's the typography or the hand lettering, and you just got to imitate it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do have to. There is a standard. I mean, that is a brand itself. So but. So yeah, all the price tags, all the like large signs that had like fruits and different like bags of chips or whatever like drawn on, it's all done by hand. So being there, I'm just looking at customer shirts and whatnot. I'm like, damn, I can see amongst friends with that. I can see something like that. We should use like collegiate joints. And so I'm just coming up with all these ideas. And I usually have a notepad in my pocket and I'm just sketching down stuff or. Yeah, even receipt paper, like
notepad or like little.
I got different sizes, man. Okay, I just whatever works.
From Big Sean, the gold one that he was selling.
I did not know.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's fire.
It feels like snakeskin. So it's like it's gold.
The cover.
The cover feels like snakeskin. When you open it up, it feels like sandpaper, but soft sandpaper on the inside, and the sheets of paper are like kind of soft. It's kind of weird now I think about it. My dad gave me
the details,
an amazing pen. Yeah, definitely.
The details.
And he got the strap over it to like let you know what part of the pages you were in last.
Okay, yeah. That's important.
Yeah,
no, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to do that.
No. I'm a journal fan. I get busy. I've been doing mostly with my iPad now, so I can kind of like keep. If I lose a journal or something, it's iCloud, whatever.
Yeah,
but so I'm just jotting on whatever the receipt paper, whatever I can find, just to like get ideas down. And then, I'm like, okay, well, let's like maybe try to do this for real. And honestly, it was a friend of mine who pushed me. Two of my friends from FAM are, I don't know how much.
You twice.
Yeah, I gotta put on.
Okay, so they out here in DC heavy.
Then the people I'm talking about, my friends I'm talking about, don't actually live in DC. But in DC, absolutely, like everywhere, coming out the woodwork. So my homegirls are making a movie. I don't know how much I guess it is out, so I guess I can talk about it.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, no,
you didn't sign a contract though.
The IG page is out. Like it's being promoted. So the film is called Robin Hood. ROBYN Hood, just HOOD. I think film. But the movie's called Robin Hood. It's about I don't know how much I can say.
Can you give that away though?
Yeah.
Not the script.
I don't know if I can give it away. But
right, so we'll just leave it.
From what I know, it's dope. So they just asked me if I had any merch. Yeah, two black women, FAMU.
Black owned.
Yeah. And I think both separate production companies. And all of their
2 companies came together.
100%. No, it's love. It's all love. It's all love. And so they hit me up and asked if I had any merch or anything. And I mean, at that time it was just a design on the computer. And I'm like, well, cool. I mean, let me just figure out how to get this made. And I asked a couple friends, who else would I go to? And said like, hey, like if I got this done, like would y'all, kind of support by purchasing one and like letting that money, I mean, it's for the film, but cool.
What year was
like
this?
These will be this was during the pandemic, so last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
What was this? Ooh, this is tight. Now this is a tight story. This is a great timestamp story.
I think it's almost been a year. If I'm being honest, I think it's almost been a year.
We're in July. So the middle of the pandemic.
No. I'm sorry. No, not July. It definitely. Actually, I don't. No, it was towards the end of the year. Yeah. No. It was towards the end of the year. It was towards the end of the year. Yeah. I'm sorry. Because it was winter time. We're doing. It was crew necks.
That's vicious. The green joint?
Yeah, the green joint. Yeah, that's how that came out. Yeah.
I still want that.
Exactly.
I still want that green joint. I'm jealous. Very jealous.
So, I mean, there was only 15. I only did 15 of them.
I'm still jealous.
And I was just enough to like, get that one joint made. I think I actually sent them 2, but get the ones made for the film, and then just get a couple to the homies. And that was enough confidence to feel like, hey, actually, let me like do some other stuff. Let me put some more into this.
Whose backyard were you in for that shoot?
Was that my mom? Yeah, that's my mom's backyard.
That was such a great backyard. I was like, where did he find these backyards?
It's just the vision, dog. Like legit. Like,
so like watching you argue about the color scheme here when we started, I was like, you find great backyards and take nice pictures. I don't get it.
It's just the angles, bro. Pro tip. When you're taking photos, if you're like wherever your camera, turn it upside down so the camera's closer to the ground. It gets a more dynamic shot. And like if it's like on your shoes or something, or even like from the knee, like it just gets a different like kind of angle. Bro, it works every time. I promise.
And that bigger presence, it fills up the screen.
Absolutely.
So that adds to like what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of videos
every time.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I got you. But yeah, no, those photos were just in my mom's backyard shooting through a couple bushes, and I just put it on a timer. It wasn't even anybody taking the photos.
So it's just you.
It was just me.
10 toes down.
Upside
down camera.
I mean, it was still COVID, so I mean, it wasn't anybody
Nobody was there though. It was just you. It was you and like a tree branch.
This is facts. And
a great tree branch. You look like you were sneaking out to be like, I got drip. I was like,
I had to,
tight.
I had to put it on one time.
I wanted to send that picture to someone to be like, I should have done this.
It's not too late.
When I saw the oranges on it, I was like, nah, that's him now. That's him now. Because fun fact, in college, my boy Vaughn made the first logo I ever had, which was a glass of juice with a straw coming out of it with Beats headphones on it and 2 oranges at the bottom. And it just said juice. That shit was so vicious. I wanted to like remake that as a shirt.
It's not too late.
No, it is.
I mean,
it's
the
not
oranges.
Too late. I just gotta like talk to him about buying that concept.
Sure.
That's what.
Gotta respect the artist. Gotta respect the artist.
Yeah,
I do bang with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's straight, just like inspiration and I guess backing or like people just saying like I would buy that, or I would support, or I would believe in you if you let me see the next thing and the next thing and the next thing.
Yeah. And they reached out to you.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't even know that I, had anything bubbling or like, I mean, my friends know, okay, I'm a designer and I've, done some stuff here and there, but there was no,
all trades.
Just a creative person, man. Just like when something pops up, it's like, oh yeah, I could probably do that, or I could learn how to. I mean, even with the design, I'm self-taught, so like, why not learn something else?
Do you like lock yourself in the room? You like give yourself 72 hours. You study like some film, some YouTube University, it's popping. And you like sit down and you're like, all right, let me try this out real quick.
I definitely do. I do lean on YouTube. What is the other one called? Skillshare. I lean on that.
Great.
Give me my ad dollars or whatever. Sponsorship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just wherever, honestly. I mean, or even just seeing somebody do something and like, oh, actually, I know like how they got that effect, and I never try to put it together like this, but let me like do my own little thing that's similar and just see what happens. And it's a useful skill set for real. I mean, just being able to like have ideas and make them real, even on paper in some way. I mean, because I'm sure people have a gazillion things, but like, how can I make somebody understand this and communicate this in a way that like, oh, actually I feel exactly what you felt when you know put that on the shirt.
Especially as an artist, because getting it right, what I've learned from my friend Tariq as an artist, people will hit you up and be like, hey man, I got this idea. Gives you the idea, 2 sentences. It's like, all right, bring that to life. And you're like, fam, this image you said needs more than 2 sentences. It's like, all right, I give you back 5 more sentences. Nah, you don't need some paragraphs. Like, if you want the leaf here, what direction is the leaf supposed to hang? You need it over the edge. Is it in the cup? All right, is there a pen in the cup too? You know, does the cup have anything written on it? If it does, what's the font? What's the font size? How much of the cup should it be taking?
All the things.
Covering. And it's just like, when I realized that, like, I realized I was spoiled, and we're all spoiled in a sense in terms of asking artists to do stuff, but not giving you guys enough information. But you guys got to set boundaries with us too. Like, hey, whatever you send in, there needs to be 3 paragraphs of descriptions for this image.
And that's
a 2-way street.
That's one of the working with friends things that it's a lot of communication and patience has to be applied. Because I think
do people realize that going into business with you, or just in general? That laugh, yo. Oh, I've had that laugh before. Oh my God. I didn't expect it to be right there.
I think in general, people, I think we all can be like more patient and communicate better, and also understanding like the ways that we communicate aren't the same ways that necessarily people receive or people communicate back. And so whether it's as simple as like visual or written or verbal, or it's hey, I need you to ask me questions so I can give you the things. I have ideas, but I need you to like ask the right questions or whatever, so that it comes out the way that you want or whatever. So even just applying that, like, okay, in order for us to do this, I need X, Y, and Z. Before I start working, I'm going to send you X, Y, and Z. Before it's final, you have to approve X, Y, and Z. And just like stating, hey, this is how I work. Tell me how you work, and then we can do this together. Or respectfully, as friends, decide not to do it.
How do you go about product placement with friends? The reason I ask this is, in the past, when starting Get Home Safe, I had a couple of people who are now famous, who like, I hit them up, hey, I have this brand, you guys have been supporting the shit that I've been doing for a while. I'd like to send you a couple of shirts, post pictures please, tag it, and all this other shit. You send it to them, they don't tag niggas, but they enjoy it. They send you the compliments. They're like, hey, here's the photo. But a year later, you see other companies hit them up, and like they do a rollout on like I'm using this product and everything else. How do you reassert, hey, can you do that for my product too?
I don't know that I have, expert advice on that, because I don't think
well, this isn't a talk amongst experts.
No,
this is amongst homies.
100%. But I think, and I say that because, even just setting the parameters that I've never really tried to send something like, oh, hey, can you, wear this, or can you like, put on or just shout out or whatever the case. So I can't just speak on like me personally having those experiences, but I do think, I don't know, man. People are, I think people in general, not even speaking about friendships, but just people in general are weird, and people do what's like advantageous, and I don't know. I think the friend thing to do would be, hey, like, I don't know, or even come to some kind of like, all right, well, I can't like, blast it for 3 weeks, but all right, cool. I'm doing, I'm going to a basketball game, and it's going to be, live streamed, and boom, I'm going to wear that joint then. I'm going to keep the joint on, while I'm playing, and, that's what I could do that fits in, like, honoring you, but also, and I think also, like, I think we could be more strategic as well and like understand, okay, well, look, my dude, I know you like usually get, you know, sponsorships that look like this. I know we just this, but, you know, I fuck with you, we got this relationship. Maybe if like, all right, I won't just say the same situation. I know you're going to ball in that game. You know, y'all don't got no jerseys or nothing. It's just skins and shirts.
Everyone
just keep my shirt on. Or however you want to do it. Yeah, however you want to do it. And maybe not even, you know, pressing it like, okay, everybody's, you know, can you get the whole team to wear it? Because then I feel like that sets the precedent that like, damn, if everybody doesn't say yes, then maybe I shouldn't wear mine either. And then, oh, it doesn't happen at all. But versus like, hey, do you mind just like, either you wear it or like toss it to one of your teammates or whatever. I don't know, fit it in somehow. I don't. It's the conversation. It's the conversation.
Okay, so the reason I asked is, I have a couple of people who I sponsor who do the same stuff in the mental health realm of things.
Sure.
So one person in particular, names will not be said.
Sure.
They wear a lot of my clothing in their videos.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I forgot who it was that asked me, it's like, hey, are they ever going to tag you? I was like, no. They were like, you're not worried about that? I was like, well, that might be their language. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, all right, so as much as there's love languages, there's friendship languages. So them repping you is, I do these videos, let's say I crank out about 15 videos a week, you'll get 4 videos out of the week, and I'll rotate your shirts. I didn't have to wear that shirt, but I wear the shirts. That's my language of me repping you. If people ask, I'll answer, but because I had the shirt on, that added to your platform.
100%.
And it's like, you got to keep in track. You got to keep that in mind because not everything needs a tag. Because like when you get like into bigger brands, contracts being signed, checks being cut, you kind of have to be more strategic, back to that strategic word, of how you support your friends in terms of the lines that you're pushing, that you don't want to put yourself in a position to be questioned by these brands or companies. And that's fascinating because like everything we do, it's built from the ground up, especially when you build it. Like when we build things, we don't think, all right, this person's going to grow to this, so eventually we're going to put them in this position. But when you get in those positions and you realize, all right, people want to be a part of your brand, are you allowed to tell people, hey, how to rep your brand? Or do you sit down and recognize, all right, this might be their language, keep funneling things towards them. That's how they rep you. Okay, you put them in that category, and it's okay to let them be them because they enjoyed that format of advertising what you have.
And I think even like valuing and honoring that like, okay, like you said, you wore it, you know, whether it's to the one basketball game or to the, you know, however many streams out of the week or whatever, it might not even be from the streams or from that game that, you know, all of a sudden you blow up. Cool, they got to put that shirt on before and keep it on after, you know, they're on that live. So maybe it's, the deli that they walk to and, they bump into another celeb and they're like, God damn, like, where'd you get that shirt from? Now I got to order, you know, 50,000 or whatever the case. So
the
like,
conversation piece.
And I mean, and I think even like just being a business person or like in our, you know, specific, with like making shirts, maybe, okay, instead of like having all my designs on the back or the main branding on the back, maybe I need to put it on the shirt high enough that, you know, people can see it in their, you know, live screen. Like be a little, like just think a little different about it and meet that person where they at. Don't make them have to shout it out. Like put it in a subtle, like, a dope design, whatever, but boom, the branding, you know exactly where to go.
So with that being said, gonna bring this back. Being strategic with your friends. Give me examples of what strategy with your friends would look like. Like just 2 examples. Like, hey, I was in this situation and I realized, I need to approach it this way because of what happened. Actually, how do you use strategies? I think that's a better question for you to start with.
I think,
because I use strategies with my friends all the time. And I'll give you a great breakdown. Like, I got like lists.
I mean, you want to throw one out?
You throw one out, I'll throw one out.
Okay.
We'll go back and forth.
I think to balance anticipation and patience.
Okay.
Because even if I'm giving a friend a ride, if I want somebody like, yo, you told me you got off at, you know, 10:30, it's 11:30, like, my nigga, I'm waiting. You asked me to be here at 10:30. Why I gotta wait another hour, whatever the case. But also knowing, you know what? I've been giving you rides for the last 5 weeks. You've been late for the last 5 weeks, and I haven't said anything. Maybe I should either A, let you know, or, you know, show up a little later, or whatever the case. So balancing, using strategy to balance anticipation and patience.
Okay. I think that's a good example. I've never thought about it that way, but
that was off the top. I can
see how not setting the standard would put the ball's in your court.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in that situation. The ball's in your court. And what's funny is I do the same thing, but I do it for like other stuff. So like, for example, I have like a list of people I admire from like growing up. For like, I'd say, when I say growing up, a lot of people's like, oh, he's talking about childhood. No, growing up for me is in 10-year time periods.
Okay.
That's how I view growing up. 10 years, sometimes 15, depending on who it is.
Okay.
So like, if you were the first one to do something around me, even if like whatever I build becomes big or it now has more attention than before, I keep in mind this person did it first. I saw all their successes, I saw all their mistakes, and I'm able to succeed because they were the example around me before what I do now.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like folks who want to do business with me, whether they're friends or not, I say, hey, I have this idea, and do you bang with this idea? AKA, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? Because I always it's important to give people the freedom to say no.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should never like pressure people into doing stuff, especially when it comes to business.
Absolutely.
Now, that's not where the conversation starts. The conversation is, are you going to pick up the phone and call and follow up about the idea that I have?
Sure.
Because my idea, while I'm busy, is just an idea. If you pick up the phone to call, and it's now a two-way street, now it's our idea that we're building towards. Sure. But if you don't pick up the phone and I come to notice that I'm picking up the phone, I'm doing the reach out, I'm doing the follow-up, that's not us collabing or doing it together anymore. That's an idea that I had that you happen to be a part of. And that's not a good relationship because the balance is already heavy. So strategies for me is, and it's not that people are liars, they may not realize they're not in the prime position or the place to do the things that they're agreeing to. And I just let life dictate it. Because if you really want to do some shit, like, what's your favorite breakfast?
Probably just pancakes and eggs.
You make sure to have pancakes in your cabinet.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? You make sure that there's eggs there.
If
you get like to 3-4 eggs, you're kind of nervous because you're like, yo, that pancake might need an egg. Like, you're wilding right now. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you prepare for the pancakes and eggs because you know, if I'm having a rough day or I know I don't fuck with this, I might want to make some pancakes and eggs to put me on the good side. But like, you wake up, there's only one egg and you're trying to make pancakes and eggs. Bro, you only have one egg.
Yeah.
You
got to nah, 100%.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not that I don't believe in them, just help me believe what I already believe. Which is very important to the business that we do.
Yeah, and I think to that, I mean, to the last part that you said, I do try to like allow people to start at the top and like you were saying, believe, you know, what I guess believe about you at this moment. That okay, we're both gonna show up. Okay, we're both gonna like, you know, equally, you know, pour into whatever we're doing. We're gonna both like be responsible here, yada yada. And then like, okay, we missed the meeting, or like, okay, we didn't like do the thing we said we were gonna do, and then okay, like, you know, we both showed up, but one person was like an hour late or whatever. And so and all of a sudden it's working its way down, and you're like making me no longer believe that.
Yeah, because we're down picking. Because now you're making space for other things to take my attention. So I'm gonna want to work harder here. Because like, when you have time, you're gonna want to do something with your time. Whether it's a nap, whether it's cooking food, whether it's making that call. Today I had 5 conversations that were all supposed to be 5 minutes. Each conversation turned into an hour. My day was automatically done. But I was happy because I was like, damn, those were some good combos that I could start applying to the stuff I'm doing. But now I got to be careful how many combos I have for the rest of the week because that time comes from somewhere else.
So I think if I was to throw out another strategy, it's I guess like measuring capacity, like being aware of your own capacity, but also it was something that you just said, kind of like, and whether it's taking inventory and knowing how many eggs I actually have to give, or you know, that I need for this recipe, but also like, damn, it was something you were saying and it escaped me. Damn, I can't even remember anymore.
Well, that's fine. I got another strategy.
All right, go ahead, throw it out.
I use a strategy on myself.
Okay.
I test myself. Like when I agree to something, I see, hey, am I into this thing as much as I said I was?
Sure.
Like, so for example, this is gonna be a great story because you can only be your best friend to yourself. dictate the boundaries of what a good friendship is for yourself.
Sure,
like for what you want.
Sure.
I started studying IT last summer. I made the mistake of letting my mom know I was studying IT.
Okay.
So it went from me studying IT to like do cloud engineering to, hey, when are you going to be done with cloud engineering so you could go get a job?
Okay.
And it's like, that's not why I'm here. It's like, nah, you said you're doing this to get that job.
Yeah. And
then it went from the joy of just learning IT and cloud engineering to the pressure of, oh, I need to get a job with this thing.
Sure.
And that, I think that was the first time in a while someone just took the air out of the room for me on something. I was like, I'll shelf this. Because I was just like, I liked this thing, and then you wouldn't, excuse my language, shut the fuck up. Bro, I'm really good at learning to love things, if that makes sense. So I'm good at like looking at it, opening the fridge 1,000 times and being like, maybe I should give that buttermilk squash a try.
Sure.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm really good at, all right, I took a couple of scoops. I wasn't really feeling it, but let's try it again to see, like, will I like it on bread? Will I like it with cookies? Is this going to go good with a glass of water? And then, like, after I find something that works and I have, like, a groove and a habit, I'm like, okay, we know what I do like about this. How far can we take this? And when I realized, I was like, oh, this is a good stride, all this other shit. It was like, it was great. I didn't factor, like, what happens when other people get their hands on the thing that you're working on and they start wanting to talk about it.
Sure.
But they don't want to learn about it.
Sure.
They just want to go to the finish line.
Sure.
So I have the type of personality, if you start pushing up the finish line for me instead of where I saw it, now I'm not going to want to cross that finish line because I'm like, bro, the race ain't the same. You done threw water on the dirt, now it's mud. You done like brought bugs and like spiders and a whole bunch of other stuff that like wasn't on the track. Like I don't even have my bug off ain't even working the same over here because like you messed with the flavor ain't the same. I'm gonna cross the finish line and be like, all right, I'm gonna go run another race because I ain't like that race.
And that's, I mean, that's not being in love with the journey or them not respecting the journey. Letting you be in love with it. And I think this is a different strategy than whatever the one was I forgot about, but just being able to know which friends, I guess, to have which conversations with. And not saying that you can't, I mean, unfortunately you can't tell everyone everything, but not even on like, I guess, privacy thing, but just like, hey, if I need uplift, if I need, somebody to just be an advocate, if I need a friend that's like, okay, I can call at 2 a.m. and they'll be there at, 2:05, those are different people. And, and even being, understanding not to put all that weight on one person and like, okay, actually Dan, this is my 2 a.m. person, let me maybe not call them all throughout their day too, just to talk about silly shit or whatever.
Give them the day off.
Exactly. I mean, and that too, like, okay, I do hit this person in every crisis, maybe let me like try to deal with this myself or whatever the case. So knowing definitely what friends to what friends to apply to what situations, and even like when it comes to bonding, because like there's gonna be friends who love to party or love to drink or love to do whatever, kind of love to travel, and then there's friends who don't. So if I'm inviting my hometown, I stay in DC friends to travel, then I'm barking up the wrong tree, and we're not building on what it is that we both can enjoy. And they have to take that, be that same type of person and be aware and know, okay, oh, my boy likes to travel and he likes to drink too. Maybe we go, to Virginia and drink, so that way, oh, it's out of DC, but oh, we're also drinking, whatever the case, and like meeting in the middle. But I think it's we do have to like understand what our friends maybe skill sets or even purposes are,
or what their languages are.
And their languages as well, and knowing what ours are and theirs, so that even realizing that they could possibly be different. And then also not expecting certain results out of friends who have even expressed, hey, we don't have that kind of friendship, or I don't I don't have the capacity to like whatever, help you through your relationship or whatever the case. I'm not even in a relationship. What the fuck you want me to tell you? Like,
but that honesty is necessary.
And again, like just I think honesty is a strategy, like well placed honesty.
Have you ever lost friendships over a strategy?
Over a strategy? Ooh. I no, I can't say that I have. I think strategy does need to be applied. There's been definitely instances where strategy had to be applied, like immediately before and immediately after a situation that could have been, or that was rocky. Like, even if something like, oh shit, like, damn, is this friendship over? All right, actually, let me use some strategy here. Let me, like, oh, even if it's just like, okay, they walked off, let me walk to the corner with them and at least, like, hey, here's a quick hug. I know this was fucked up, but, like, we gonna get over it. I'll holler at you when I holler at you, or, you know, whatever.
I think I've lost business friendships over strategies, but not the actual friendships. So, like, for example, actually, I think Get Home Safe is a good example. And when I say I've lost business friendships, we still check in on each other and give each other advice on business. You feel what I'm saying? Between me, Coop, and Ryan. Like, we're really close in the sense of we think about each other every 3 weeks. Like, we're on a schedule of, yo, you good? Yo, what's going on that side of shit? Yeah. So, actually, after we did Go Grill Fest, everybody was exhausted. Like, you know when you look around a room and you really just sit and you look around a room and you're like, oh, niggas is tired. But when you ask, it's like, oh, no, we good. It's like, nah, I know we're good, but like, when you do business with friends, that time comes from somewhere. So the time you guys would usually use towards getting drinks, the time you guys would use towards hanging out, cracking jokes, that time might be replaced with how are we going to make sales, how are we going to pitch mental health, how are we going to reach out into the community. And if you don't have the awareness of where the friendship is getting less and where the business is getting more, it's very easy to lose their, what's the word I'm looking for? Not presence. When people suffer from imposter syndrome in terms of who you are, you lose your place in that friendship. It's like, am I someone who works with him or am I still the friend? And then you get to those little boundaries of, man, I have this thing I really want to talk to my friend about, but we do work, and I haven't really taken care of that work thing yet. Can we have that conversation? And like those nuances. So they were a good example of, okay, I can see when things are getting too much for my friends that I do work with. So now I'm better at recognizing, hey, let me pull you over to the side. Like, I have friend dates where we just go out and like we sit down and we just talk. And they're like, oh, they try to bring Get Home Safe. Nah, it's about you and me. Like what's going on? How are you doing? Like, what's up with life? Because like my personality, from what I'm recognizing, is so big because of the work that I'm doing that it's very easy to be like, but his work is so important. But to me, my friends are my work too. So it's not just me helping my community in terms of people who are asking me for help when it comes to like mental health, advice, where can I get a resource, where can I get a therapist. My work is also my friends who I work with closely. Hey, what's going on in your life? What's up with you? What are we not talking about that we need to talk about? Like, what's going wrong in your life or what's going right in your life? Because like both those conversations are important. It's very easy to become the friend that only talks about what's going wrong in their life and you don't keep track of the happy moments. And it's like, you got to remember, every time you have those conversations, you create a new profile of your friendships. So that's why I say, like, they're an example of that, because we lost that, but it's okay because we came back to it. It's okay because when shit hit the fan and like shit got real, we separately sat down and the friends stepped up and did what they were supposed to, instead of, oh, you left me by myself, I'm gonna go take care of it. Nah, the friendship don't stop. And I tell folks that, like, hey, if you do work with your friends, understand what your friendship is, what your work relationship is, and you need to understand that you're gonna have to make time for both if you care about it. And that's major, because I don't think people understand what it means to care. They think to care means I have it, but it's like, no, having it isn't to care. How'd you take care of it? Like, you have plants in this house. What's your plant schedule for like how you take care of like the plants here?
They're all different.
Tell me about it. Tell me, do you know what kind of plant that is?
Yeah, it's a money tree. Okay, so I mean, so with each one, I mean, just to talk about like.
Tell me how you take care of the money tree.
So they all require different, they're in different places in the house because they all require different settings. They require different, humidity, different sunlight. They require kind of even, I mean, of course, the temperature in the house of some plants, you know, can be colder. Some plants like, you know, to be hotter. Some plants need to, in fact, be outside. Yeah. And I think, you know, taking the time to figure out not only what this, you know, type of plant usually likes, but what this specific plant is gonna, you know, react to in this space, in my space, the space that I've created, and whether I've altered the space for the plant or, you know, I've just put the plant in the space and seen if it could survive. You know, there's definitely a particular, I guess, maybe ingredients that this plant needs just in environment. And then even when it's in this environment, you know, checking and seeing, you know, how are the leaves doing? Is it falling apart?
What do you look for on the leaves when it comes to the money tree?
I mean, if they're yellowing, if they're, you know, turning brown, if they're, you know, falling off, I think these leaves are, you know, gigantic. I wish I could like turn the camera and show, but you know,
I'll even get some B-roll of that later.
Even the size of, you know, I was talking to my plant friend the other day, and she's got a gazillion plants and you know, actually works in that I guess setting. But
you see what you did there? You investigated the plant. You told me how you have to take care of the plant. You told me what the plant needs.
Yeah.
And then you said there are plant friends, which means there's other people you ask advice on how to take care of the plant.
Yeah.
That's what our friendships are.
Yeah, for sure.
Like just point blank period. Each one of our friends is that.
I mean, there's two things I think I didn't even get to. That's even just like evaluating the plant and like seeing, oh, okay, like even if I wanted this plant to survive or to thrive or whatever, like these are things I could maybe do. Yeah. But then, like, actually, okay, well, I've got to know when this plant wants to be watered. I mean, even like, you know, so I have other kinds of plants, we'll say, and even making sure that that water is at a certain
temperature.
No, not temperature, but like acidity or pH, the pH balance, and making sure, okay, I'm putting the right water.
Farmers worry about that. I got you.
Right, putting the right water into this plant just so that it can soak up the nutrients or what I'm giving it. You know, when I do add extra
I was talking to my friend about that, who's out in Washington, and he told me that there are farmers who actually test what pH balance and other minerals within the water do well for those kind of plants.
Yeah, 100%.
So like they shift every month to see like what's the pro, what's the con, how's the temperature, how does this affect the plant.
Yeah.
So the fact that doesn't just go for that kind of plant, but all plants in general.
100%.
And then like this plant behind you, what's the plant that's behind you right here up top?
This plant was gifted to me, so I do not know exactly what it is. There's a couple plants that this could be, but I don't want to state it wrong. But
and then someone who's like a plant person is like, yo, that's what that is.
Yeah, and
you could have done it better. But even not knowing what kind of plant this is, what kind of research have you done to like, hey, am I taking care of this plant?
Honestly, I've spent time with it. I touch it. I look at it. Like I know how long it can last without being nurtured. I know how much it likes to be nurtured. I know how the plant I guess not survive, but how it I guess looks and grows on different levels of my house, because the basement's a different temperature than it is up here.
So that means that you had to work lifting the plant up on 3 different levels to test it out to see what works. Like, think about that. You said I had to make time, I had to put it in different rooms.
Yeah.
I had to see, how much attention does it not want from me?
Yeah.
Friendships.
Exactly.
All friendships.
And I guess the other part that, the last thing I think with all of the plants, and not to be symbolic or whatever, but actually getting my hands dirty, like putting my hands in the dirt and feeling like, oh, have I watered this plant too much? Like, is it getting the proper, is it getting to release what it needs to release and suck in the nutrients that it needs to suck in so that it can, execute on all the things that I think it wants or thinks it needs. And I think, again, like, symbolic of get your hands dirty. Like, I mean, push a couple buttons, don't purposely try to kill the plant, but okay, like, actually let's test this friendship, in a different space and see, like, okay, does this feel good? Is this plant soaking up what I'm trying to give it? And does it feel good when my hands, are actually in contact with it,
So how do you practice being a good friend to yourself? This laugh.
I think, being a good friend to myself.
Yeah.
That might be the hardest question of the night.
You have a routine?
I think not. I just try to be.
I have examples. I have examples of when I'm being a bad friend to myself.
Okay, I mean, do you mind starting there?
No,
okay.
Sure. Yesterday, funny enough, I I was struggling so hard to put up that Mental Health Monday post. With the 15-minute sit down, like introducing everyone. I sat in front of my computer for 2 hours. Just to write 7 sentences. And my mind was in like a complete fog. Like I was locked out, right? And I was like, you should just walk away, bro. I was like, you know what? I was like, I think you're exhausted, and even though you got sleep, you're not rested. So that means that when I got sleep, whatever I was thinking about before going to sleep and when I woke up, didn't allow my mind the freedom of relaxing so I could do what needed to be done the next day. So I think what happened is I took whatever was a burden to me that I was working on to bed with me, woke up with it, and was like, I'm gonna go do all this dope shit. I got to the dope shit, and it was like, actually, no, my nigga, you tired. You don't get to do nothing for the day. And I was like, God, I wasn't ready for it to myself. I see what happened.
I think, so the thing that made it, I guess, maybe a little difficult to answer is, you know, I think on the surface, friendship requires, it's a give and take. There's somebody on the receiving end of what's happening. And so thinking about how I can be a good friend to or how I am a good friend to myself, I think, you know, on the surface, again, there's only one person here. So how can I'm not like taking myself on dates and I'm not, I mean, and you can, I mean, that's, you know, that is, no, 100%.
Practice that.
And so and I guess that's where it goes. Like, okay, well, on one aspect, like, I don't know if the chicken came before the egg, but like, okay, the things I want to see in my friendships, let me practice those things with myself. Let me like, okay, actually spend, you know, money on something I enjoy and like, you know, really appreciate. Okay, this is something I value. And then honoring the people that I care about and saying like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna get this person a great value brand. I'm gonna get them the like, you know, the Oreos, you know, double stuffed with the whatever chocolate covering because I know that's what this person likes. And maybe it's not, you know, I don't like cookies or these not the Oreos I like or whatever the case. But you know what? Like, I would honor myself with this like the red carpet rollout. Why would I not do that for the people that I'm like asking to be around me or that I'm fighting to be around? So I think that's one aspect, but then I think, you know, something that I personally tried to implement is even like separating myself and like looking from outside of myself and like, okay, Rodger, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, and whether that comes in the form of just meditation or, you know, journaling and writing or, I mean, literally like just talking to yourself, like looking in the mirror. I mean, the very first thing I thought when you asked the question was holding up the mirror, and I used to say that to people a lot when they're like, oh, just give compliments or whatever. Like, I'm just a mirror. Like, I couldn't do this if it wasn't for you. So whatever you're complimenting me on, like, hey, thank you. Like, I'm like, we're both here. So, you know, but I think that's something that you can do on your own, just looking at like, well, what am I actually doing? Like, the sleep that you need, if it takes talking to yourself and be like, Rodger, you're tired as hell. Like, why do you keep trying to, you know, operate and be creative off of 3 hours instead of just getting the 6 or the 8 or whatever? Or you know, just hold up the, like, bro, you look like shit. Like, you know, stop, you know, or not even, oh, you're disrespecting, you know, the people in your circle or whatever. So just like.
So for you, it's acknowledgement of what you really have going on instead of convincing yourself of otherwise.
Yeah, it is an awareness. It is like a honest, a really honest look. And, you know, in workplaces, I used to get like, I used to be talked to about being hard on myself. And I mean, I get it, but like, if you're not having the tough conversations, who else is? Like all these people, they're work buddies. Like
I think what that probably came from is, so you know, on my platform, I've been advertising positive affirmations, right? And being careful of how you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's okay to talk negatively to yourself, but that's acknowledgement. Like, hey, it's been 9 months of you doing the same fuck shit. Then you acknowledge, okay, here's what the fuck shit is.
Yeah.
And you really sit there and you look at the table and you count the days that you've done it or proof that you've done it, and you're like, nah, that's not us. Because that's not like the best version of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And you're not tearing yourself down, you're trying to build yourself up because you're like, hey, if we change this one thing, the world around us would change so much.
Yeah.
And like, but people aren't used to seeing people that be that brutally honest. And also, people are trying to help you avoid self-mutilation when it comes to your verbiage. But for you, you're like, nah, that's not self-mutilation. This is acknowledgement. But they don't want to cross that road with you. So they're only there with you in those moments. They're not there with you for like the marathon of what you're actually trying to get to.
Yeah, and the growth and the okay, now that I know this and I've spoke to myself this way, I'm gonna like pull it around and be better or whatever. Yeah. And I think it was one important thing that you said. You said that's not us, and I think that speaks to the separation of like, I mean, just to maybe be a little spiritual or whatever, like higher self and human self, or like, okay, like your thoughts and, you know, how you're showing up, and realizing like, dang, like the things that when I was at home and thinking about how I was going to show up at work the next day or show up to my, you know, friend circle, whatever the next day, that sounded very positive and very like, oh, like, yeah, we can, you know, apply patience here and give people joy here or whatever. But then, oh, I got there and I was a bitch and I like didn't talk to anybody and I was on my phone the whole time, whatever the case. And even acknowledging that those are two separate, what we're thinking, what our soul or heart or whatever wants, and our intentions and how we're actually like acting in those spaces are two different things. Yeah. And aligning those, you have to be a friend to yourself. You have to have the tough conversation that like, look, like you got good, you know, aspirations, but you're not showing up in this way. And oh, well, actually, my friends don't really fuck with me anyway. I heard them talking shit, so like, why should? And you know, having that like back and whatever it is, and like, okay, how do we solve this?
You're just acknowledging it. And this is a funny conversation because the reason, I don't know if you saw the post that I did on friendships today, right?
Yeah, I did actually. Yes, I did.
So I did that post because one of my boys hit me up asking for help. Yeah. First, he was acknowledging the Hug a Homie campaign that we're working on. I told you about that over the phone. And then he told me about a situation. And I talked him through what I made the video about today last week. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Because we had this conversation, I'm going to make a couple of videos for you this week that I hope are beneficial for you. Because like, I think it's very important to acknowledge who your friends and who are your associates. Okay, yeah. A lot of people like to toss the words friends around a lot. And they may only know you for being the person who pours their shot. Or being the person who spots them when they need extra money to like go on the bus, but they may not understand like what makes you tick, what bothers you, what sends you over the edge, what brings you joy, like in your personal life outside of the bottle or outside of something you're able to provide a group. And I was telling him that the people he's confiding in, it's not that they're bad people, and this is very important. Sure. A lot of us get to the finish line of, they couldn't hold me down, so they're terrible people. It's like, no, it's not that they're terrible people. It's that you may have made the mistake of believing that they were something that they're not. They may just be your friends who are there for the good times, or they're because they need you in their lives for that positivity, but they may not be the people who are able to hold you down when like shit hits the fan and like you don't crack the jokes you usually crack anymore. You're not able to carry that smile that everyone knows you for. They may not be able to be in your presence unless you're the laugh, and that's okay. Just keep track. And it's not keeping track to cut them off, keeping track so you know who you may want to allow yourself to be or what you can expect from them when you're just being who you need to be in that moment. Yeah, I have friends that, I mean, and I think you can take mental notes, but and I have friends who take like actual notes on like, hey, this is what happened in a friendship, or this is what like was said and what heard or whatever. And I respect the hell out of that because I don't like, my memory sucks and like I don't, you know, I'm very like, okay, like this happened in this moment. I'm gonna take the like details of it and not how I felt, and so like I don't even like hold on to that. Once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, like yeah, exactly. And so like I do, you know, really respect that. I think it does help us figure out who our friends are and what roles they each play, and that goes back to what I was saying before about like care. And like knowing what to expect from these people. Like, okay, this person is the like care bear that I know, you know, does X, Y, and Z. And even knowing like, okay, but I do show up to them and just dump on them, you know, every time, and like, you know, even just understanding what the dynamic is. And I think that goes into another strategy that I try to use is almost having like friend contracts. And maybe it's not a agreed like, hey, this is what we're doing, these are the spaces we can, but even just like remembering what you signed up for. Because I think there at times it does change. The drinking homie might now be the late night homie. Say it again. Forever. Yeah, well that too, definitely. I mean, oh, we're locked in, you know, we're doing this forever. But because we've been drinking homies forever, that might now turn into
oh, you know, the late night combo homie and the homie who, oh, I can, you know, we can talk about our relationships, and that's the safe space that we have as well. But, you know, maybe that other person, unbeknownst to me, because, oh, it felt like we were both here, and like, oh, we, you know, you told me about your one thing, and I told you about my 10 things. I thought like that was the agreement. But no, we only signed up to be drinking partners. Like, this did happen, but like, did we update the contract? Did we agree that like, hey, okay, anytime you need to, you know, you just argue with your wife and you need to come and like hit me up, okay, I'm gonna wake up out my sleep? Like, no, like that wasn't the contract, or like that wasn't, and being, and you don't always have to be, you know, vocal about, oh, that's not what I agreed to, but even just understanding personally, like, oh, you know what?
Boundaries.
Yeah, and like I did want this person to, I've been giving them advice for 9 months, and when I come to them, I get, yeah, and oh, that's dope, and like, you're not giving me half the value that I gave, but oh, I signed up to help you. You didn't sign. It wasn't the other way around. Yeah. And just level setting the expectations.
That's important though.
Yeah.
It's important to understand, like, hey, maybe I came into the relationship and they were never there, and this was just like, this was fun.
Yeah. But realizing, oh damn, it was fun in that moment, and I was okay just helping them, or just like showing up in this one space. But maybe my friendships now, maybe it's all of them or just this one person or whatever, I do need you to, you know, chip in on whatever, or I do need you to like, hey, be more affectionate or listen more or whatever, and updating that contract.
Also, maybe recognize they just don't got that.
Yeah. And that's the other realization.
Yeah, that other half is important. I have a couple of friends like that.
Yeah.
And, like, it's cool. Yeah. Like, even from like back in the day, like talking about high school, because like a lot of my folks are on this side from like Jersey, DC and stuff. Yeah. And so the relationship changed a decade ago, and now they want the relationship back. But for me, it's like, relationship changed a decade ago. Yeah. And it's not that I'm not gonna be your friend, it's that the type of friend you want me to be, I may no longer be available to do that because I'm that friend for like 8 people now. So it's not just me being that friend for you, it's I now have 8 people, and you've gone from being 1 to 9 because you want it back. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not gonna go and find what I don't have. Yeah. That cup is only so full. Yeah. And like, even for like my moms, I'm now friends with my moms. And the reason I say moms is because you have my mom in New Jersey and you have Darnisha's mom. Sure. It's like, that's who I call moms. Absolutely. Those are my 2 moms. Absolutely. And it's like, my mom in New Jersey, who gave birth to me and raised me, she's learning to be a friend. And my mom here in Lanham, who is raising me and has raised me for about 10 years, when I like look back and I think about the advice she gives me, we have a friendship of, I talk to her, she talks to me, we talk about when people may have us messed up, how did we handle that, what can we do better? So mutually admitting that we can do something better, or mutually admitting, yo, maybe we can't do anything at all and we did our best.
And I mean, you do have to, there does come a point where you do have to realize, like, okay, this is the capacity of, you know, one relationship or the other. And I don't know, it is a tough realization. Yeah. And I think I don't know if it's the last strategy, but a strategy that has to be applied, I think, from start to finish is patience, man. I think, even in the example that you just gave, understanding that for the friend that wants to now come back, them understanding that, oh, you know what, it has been a lot of time that's passed. I do now have to be patient to get back into this person's life in the capacity that, you know, we once were. Yeah. And then you being patient with like, hey, actually, person, like,
that's real.
I know you're kind of trying it right now, but I'm gonna have a little patience and like not react or not like completely exclude you from my friendship circle or these opportunities or whatever, with respect to, hey, we have been friends for a long time, so patience has already been applied. We've already, you know, just held some kind of space for each other, whether it was at one point a very large space or now a much more finite or specific space. There still has to be patience applied to, like, okay, it can come back, even if it is 5 years from now or another 10 years or whatever. Okay, because we can be patient with each other and know that there is longevity to this friendship and to the bond, I can wait for, you know, the next ship or the next opportunity to fit into whatever space.
And it may not be on their schedule, and that's really important. Like when people reach out to me, unfortunately, I really do get busier than I acknowledge. Yeah. And when it happens, I look back at my phone catalog 4 days later and I'm like, oh man, I missed that. That's crazy. I gotta reach out to them, hit them up with the apology, and then I make a day like, yo, specifically this day, let's hang out. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, I need to carve out time because whether the friendship's good or not, I'm still your friend. That word still holds value to me. So it's like, how do I make it up to them, or how do I honor what we've already created for like years? You feel what I'm saying? Because everything is finite. Okay? At the end of the day, everything is finite. But like the care you pour into things is important, even for the finite stuff. And it's to me, that's the beauty of life, because like you do get chances to make something new or make something better. Yeah. And I think a lot of us give those chances up because we lose patience. Yeah. We lose vision. Because to have friendship is to have vision with the person that's on the other end. Yeah. That's why I asked you, like, how are you a friend to yourself? Because like I sometimes wonder how the hell I'm a friend to myself. Yeah. Like I look at some things that I'm doing, I'm like, what does self-care look like for you? So like, for example, right now I'm doing a self-care rollout because I practice what I preach. So like, we have these goodie bags from other black businesses that like involve art, music playlists, candles, essential oils, a shirt from Get Home Safe, and maybe a couple other things sprinkled in. And I told everyone like, hey, I want you to slide in your business card so people know outside of Get Home Safe who gave them the self-care package, they can reach out to you. Because for me, the relationship is past what started it all. If they remember you, cool. If they don't, did they at least get to working on the new relationship? Sure. Did they like start to bring things into their home that wasn't there before? And it's like, have they created a habit because of you, or was it something that they needed, and does that even matter? You feel what I'm saying? Because it's still an action at the end of the day. Like life is one big action. So this was a good talk.
No, it was, bro. It was. And I think I love how like topics just like find their way to come full circle. And I mean, life is gonna be. I mean, it took action to get here. Like, somehow, like, even just just being in the moment and like, okay, you know what? There's the space to do this. It makes sense. Why am I even looking for like reasons to not take this action? And then like, all right, like, fuck it, like,
pull up.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. So we did. All right.
So where can the folks find you?
Man, on IG, at the Rodger Brown, that's RODGER, at YoFriends, YoFriends.com. I'm a graphic designer too, so if you need that work, at The Goods, with 3 O's. Shit, I guess that's all the things to plug, man. But find me in the streets, man. Not in these, wild party streets, but I'd be outside, man. Like, and I mean that literally in terms of like, or maybe not literally, I mean that figuratively in terms of, just being active and being engaged with people. So, if you see me, say what's up. I'm a nice guy, and I'm always down to be a friend. So.